Jim, while we await that transit over to Trump Doral, let's touch a little bit more on what we could be seeing or hearing about from what's happening inside of that courtroom tomorrow. Perhaps the sketch artist will capture an image of the magistrate judge, who my understanding is Bruce Reinhardt, who actually signed the original warrant authorizing the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. But there's also another judge that's listed on the summons, Eileen Cannon. Talk about her connection to Trump and who's going to be there in court tomorrow, and whether these judges or anything could change as this case unfolds.
So Eileen Cannon is a judge in the Southern District of Florida. She's normally based up in the Fort Pierce area. Miami is not her home courtroom, but it's all covered by the Southern District. Eileen Cannon notoriously was the judge who initially blocked federal investigators from seeing any of the items taken out of the Mar-a-Lago search warrant, claiming that she wanted to appoint a special master to review, and that the FBI could not use the documents as part of any investigation they were undertaking. She was roundly criticized by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, who unanimously not just rejected her ruling, but found it highly inappropriate. Now, Judge Cannon has come under some criticism because she was, in fact, an appointee of Donald Trump, had appeared at many of his rallies. There are photos of her, wearing paint on her face to embody Donald Trump, wearing Trump gear and hats and celebrating him. This was before she was appointed as a federal judge, and so this is she is somebody who is seen as being very pro Donald Trump. Now, in some ways, I will tell you that that's almost a good thing, I think. And I don't know if she will ultimately try the case, but if you think about it, this case could have been brought by the special prosecutor or by the independent counsel in the Washington, D.C. area, and I think that would have caused a lot more political problems. I think relocating the case to South Florida takes away one of the arguments that Donald Trump would make, that he could not get a fair trial. If anything, South Florida, which went heavily for Donald Trump, including Palm Beach County and Dade County, not so much Broward County, but that's the jury pool that he's going to be drawing from for his trial. It's a judge that he appointed that's going to be making rulings. So I think that it takes away an argument that they went shopping for a favorable venue in Washington, D.C., where Donald Trump, I think, only got like 6% of the vote. So I think that you would have seen more concern. So I think the special counsel was right to bring it down here. This is the Southern District of Florida, is where the crimes took place, the alleged crimes took place. So it is appropriate for him to be here, but it's going to be quite a headache for all of us covering it.